Good day, my name is Sunette Steynberg and I will present on the impact that co-authorship with international authors has on the impact and visibility of your research. The topic of maximizing your research impact is an extensive one. I have therefore addressed the following subtopics under it in a series of presentations. Firstly, we looked at a number of author profiles, their benefit and how to create them. Secondly, we looked at the ranking of accredited journals to publish in. We also touched on open access journals and the advantage of publishing in them. In the third presentation, we covered an individual author citation analysis which could be applied to your own research to determine your research footprint. This also included altmetrics. In this presentation, the last one, we will identify international authors to co-author with. This will definitely increase your research visibility. I will start off with a motivation on why international co-authorship is important. Then we will look at the sources where one could trace possible authors to co-author with, namely ResearchGate and Scopus. Lastly, we will also touch on networking at international conferences and how you can make that work. I would like to start off by motivating why I say that international co-authorship would increase your research impact. Have a look at this table of the University of Pretoria's authorship over the past 5 years. In the first column, it shows the distribution of UP authorship, and in the second column, the number of papers per co-authorship. The third column, the number of citations received. But the fourth and the fifth columns are the important ones for my motivation. The impact shows the number of citations per paper, which already tells us a lot, and that international collaboration is doing far better than any of the national, institutional, and single authorships. You may say that citations are not similar for all research fields, and that is the truth. That is why I included the last column, the field-weighted citation impact. This is a normalization metric that takes into account the research field of the publication, the year of publication, and also the type of publication, such as was it published in a review article, which normally receives many citations, or in a book, which normally receives much fewer citations. The world norm in all instances is 1, meaning in the table that University of Pretoria's papers that were written in co-authorship with international authors are way above the world norm with 1.66, while all the other papers are below the world norm, or the world average, you could also say. Now, the easiest way of identifying an author that does research in the same area as you do is by accessing ResearchGate, the Facebook to researchers. One can go directly to Discover Research, where the bottom arrow indicates, and do a subject search. The drawback is that it will only search your term or terms in the titles submitted by researchers. I would prefer, however, to be able to search their specialities and current projects. And in order to do that, you have to go through a quick free registration process where it indicates join for free. Or if you have done that already, sign in and get the added functionality. In the search box at the top, one can either search for researches, publications, or more. Now, I decided to submit my topic of interests, which is bibliometrics. Here, you can see that bibliometrics was searched within the skills and expertise set of all researchers. As an example, let's just look at these two researchers. Rousseau at the top is from KU Leuven and Moya Anagon from Spain. Both are looking excellent, but if I had to choose, I would probably go for Rousseau because of his number of publications and citations. I will, however, have a deeper look at his profile. As I looked through his complete list of skills and expertise, there are very few that did not interest me. Actually, this is a perfect match for my own interests. I scrolled down and found that he has one project listed currently. By clicking on the number 1, I can view what that is. There are other social networking tools such as LinkedIn and academia.edu that could be used in a similar way, but I do not find the evaluation of the researchers as easy as in ResearchGate. Let's move on to Scopus. So in order to find international authors to co-author with, one could also do a subject search on either Scopus or the Web of Science. Now I selected Scopus, one of the largest multidisciplinary databases in the world. It is a subscription-based database and can be found alphabetically under databases from the library's website. So this is the library homepage, and from here we will navigate to all subscription-based resources. Select Databases under Search. Click on S and scroll down in order to find Scopus. At this current time, I have to make my example on COVID-19, and let's say a vaccine for COVID-19. You can search, of course, whatever your research is on. There are over 3,000 results. Now, on the left-hand side, at number 1, you will see that basically all publications were published during this year, 2020. Below the dates, you will find the author names. There is an author that already published 25 articles on this topic. I selected that author's name in order to have a closer look at those 25 publications and see if my research is related to it. Remember, I am looking for someone to co-author with. Click on Limit To in order to activate your choice. Here are the 25 articles published by Dharma. One can also see all the co-authors on the left. Have a look at the articles on the right and decide whether this is a good match for you. If not, move on to the next author on the original list. In order to see more details on Dharma, for instance, from what institute and country he is from, click on any of the titles on the right. After accessing this specific article, you will see a list of authors, each with a letter of the alphabet next to his or her name. The corresponding letter of the alphabet is then in a list of affiliations below. In this example, Dharma is the first author with letter A next to his name. Thus, he is from the Pathology Division of the Indian Veterinary Research Institute in India. Further down, you will also see the author keywords, as well as the indexed keywords by the database. These should also give you a good indication of the appropriateness of this author or not. You might find that your research is more localized and would prefer to co-author with someone from Africa, but outside South Africa. Now scroll down until you find country or territory on your left-hand side. Only the countries that have published most articles on this topic will display. In order to see all the countries, select View All. Now we have a list of all the countries. Select all African countries except South Africa and click on Limit To. There are 176 results for Africa outside South Africa. On the far left, one can see once more that most were published in 2020. Below the years, you can see the authors and the number of articles published by each of them. Let us have a closer look at number 3 on the right-hand side. I see that article, published earlier this year, already received 15 citations. All the authors are from Khartoum, Sudan. This should give you enough information in order to decide whether you are interested in co-authoring or not. Another place that I would suggest that you look for possible co-authors would be at conferences. How do you identify the proper conference to attend and find co-authors? Let's start with that question. Firstly, look at the conferences organized by your professional organization or association. Many of them are free and online nowadays. That does not mean that they are less important or valuable. I foresee that many more conferences will be held in this way in the future. Conal Conference Alerts is a website that publishes academic conferences worldwide. By setting up an alert on that website, you will receive emails informing you of newly organized conferences on your topic. The last point on this slide, allconferences.com, is similar to Conal Conferences Alerts, only this website is much more general and not that academic in nature. Whenever you get the opportunity to attend a live conference, whether it is local or international, this is not the time to be shy. Networking is the best part of a conference and building contacts. Whenever you attended a good presentation, follow it up with a conversation with the presenter. Tea time and lunches are excellent opportunities to mingle. Make a point of it to sit with different people every time. Find out where they are from and what their research is on, and make sure that they know who you are and what you are working on. Make sure to have lots of business cards and distribute freely. If someone gives you a card, make a note on it that will help you to remember the person and what you talked about afterwards. Follow up the discussion with an email or an invitation on LinkedIn to stay connected. Now, I thought networking at online conferences would be lost and reduce the true worth of conferences. Not true. I have seen people networking even more, but differently. All online tools have a chat function. This allows attendees to post their ideas while the presentation is ongoing. Others can comment and even exchange emails while listening to this presentation. This could be even more beneficial than the physical conference. Whenever one presents a paper or a poster at a conference, that attracts the most attention. End your paper with some questions that you are currently considering and would like conversation on. This will attract other representatives to you and give the opportunity for conversation. People will approach you and ask for co-authorship on these questions that you suggested in your presentation. In conclusion, many people contribute to ResearchGate and to Scopus, and you will find one or two perfect collaborators in each. At conferences, you will meet people with like-minded interests than you, or even the people you have identified in ResearchGate or Scopus, and expand your networks for possible co-authorship. So how does co-authorship actually increase your visibility? You, as a University of Pretoria researcher, will share your article with your co-researchers at the University of Pretoria, but also with your connections within Gauteng and within South Africa. Your co-author, say from University of California, Los Angeles, will share with his or her colleagues at UCLA, also with other colleagues within California and in the bigger United States of America. Now, this is how your research gets distributed much more widely than just your connections in South Africa. I do hope that you found this presentation and this series useful, and you are most welcome to contact either myself or any of my information specialist colleagues if you would like to discuss this further or need any assistance. I thank you.